Thank you everyone for staying tuned with us. We now move on to the next session. We have two eminent leaders, Mr. George Bickerstaff, co-founder and managing director, Dillon and Co., former CFO Novartis, and Dr. Joe Berry, CEO of the Flanders Institute of Biotechnology. I welcome them both to deliver their special address on creating unicorns.
Hello, my name is George Bickerstaff, and we're going to talk tonight about creating unicorns. So you can see on my background that we have the universe and the earth being shown. And the reason I chose that is because a unicorn is something that's mythical, it's magical, it's sort of beyond belief. And that's what we're going to talk about. How do you create a business unicorn? How do you find one? How do you build one? How do you invest in one? How do you make it happen? I'm going to take you through a couple steps. I'm going to take you through a high level step, a medium level, and I'm going to leave you with one takeaway message. So you have to listen to this whole roughly 10 minutes to get to that takeaway message. So what's a unicorn? A unicorn is that unique thing that rarely occurs and captures everybody's hearts. In business, a unicorn is normally defined financially as a company that grew from tiny to about $1 billion in value in a pretty short period of time. That's why they call it a unicorn. Now, there's quite a few out there, but there's not a ton of them out there. How do you create that unique, exciting unicorn in your life for your business? How do you find them? How do you invest in them? Now, there's three basic things you have to think about to begin with. The first basic thing you have to think about to begin with is what's your strategy? What's the strategy of that company? The second thing is, are they properly allocating capital? And the third thing is, are they properly governed? Do I have a business idea that's unique, compelling, my strategy? Do I know the resources that I need? Can I bring them together and allocate them properly to get there? And do I have proper governance to manage me along the way? Those are the three high-level things that you're looking for in creating or investing in a unicorn. Now let's take it one step down below that. There's basically 5 steps you're going to look for below that. So you have a compelling strategy, there's good allocation of capital, resources available, and 3, there's good governance. What specifically do you look for if you're going to invest in a company that could become a unicorn, or if you want to build a company that will become a unicorn? Well, the first thing is you need a great management team. And the great management team has to have all the key functions taken care of. Finance, sales, research, development, either in one person or a number of different people. And they have to have been able to have done that in that industry, that sector, that space. A proven track record, great management team. The first thing, probably the most important thing. The second thing you need is a great board of directors. The board of directors is the group that guides the management team, is the one that oversees the governance of the company to make sure the money's being spent well and allocated properly, to make sure they're doing all the right things, including selecting the CEO. So great board of directors is the second most important thing. The third most important thing is, do they have great investors, or can you attract great investors? Now, what's a great investor? A great investor are the group of people that can give you ideas, money, coaching, support now and going into the future. Just to have one investment is generally not enough. You normally need people to come along with you. You don't want people that can come in once but can't participate going forward. So great investors are the third most important thing, in my opinion, in building a company that can become a unicorn, or investing in a company that you want to become a unicorn. Now, the fourth thing, probably in this order, is the business model. So you've got a great strategy, what you're going to go after. You've got a great way to allocate capital, and you've got great governance. What now do you need to do from a investment perspective? The investment perspective is, can my money add value to that company? Can my experiences, can my network add value to that company? If it can't add value materially, you don't want to invest in it. If your experiences can't add materially to the success of that company, that strategy, you don't really want to be there, and you probably won't be successful. So the last point, or the fifth point, is, can my money, my network, my resources help them to be successful? So high level, when you're looking to build a unicorn or invest in one, look at the strategy. Is it inspirational, aspirational, compelling? Can you taste it? Can the world see why that's important? Second thing you're looking for is allocation of capital. Do I have the right resources? Can I bring in the right resources? The third, is there proper governance to keep the rocket ship going the right way, to keep the car on the lanes, not in the ditch? The 5 points below that: great management, great board, great investors, great business model, and my money, my time, my investment can help to get there. So now we've got all these great tools and these great ways to think about this. Where do you actually find the unicorns? Where should I start digging? Where will they be? The place the unicorns will be is at the point where tectonic plates come together, where there's a need. So imagine the world forming when the tectonic plates came. It created mountains, it created oceans. It's where those tectonic plates intersect is where you'll find the unicorns and where you'll be able to build the unicorns. For example, in healthcare, the tectonic plates are likely where healthcare intersects with information technology and intersects with finance. Examples of those are sequencing, genomics, CRISPR, Cas9, molecular diagnostics, immuno-oncology. You can go on and on. Basically, in healthcare, you're looking to get personalized medicine using technology so people don't get sick or they get better quickly in rapid time. So within the healthcare world, think of the intersection of healthcare, technology, and finance. That's where you'll find the unicorns. You can find them in other industries, of course, as well. Now, why are you looking for the spot where three sectors intersect? That Venn diagram. Think of a table. A table with one leg can fall over. A table with two legs can fall over. A table with three legs is unlikely to fall over. That intersection point at the middle of those three legs is the strongest spot. That's where you want to be. Now, having gone through all that, strategy, capital allocation, good corporate governance, great management, great board, great investors, great business model, and my money matters, and I'm digging at the intersection of 3 points, how do I really go about finding that on a day-to-day basis? Well, here's the key message. This is the most important message. Find good, honest, ethical, smart people doing interesting things and help them out. When you find those good, smart people doing interesting things, they will lead you to where the unicorns are. They will lead you to where the opportunities are. And the neatest thing is you don't need to just do it with one. You can be doing this with 2, 3, or 4 things at the same time. So multiple good, smart people doing interesting things in various areas that all come together into your own network. So you want to think about that as well. In fact, the most important message is find those people, join them, but more important than that, become one good, smart person doing interesting things. When you bring all that together, you'll find your unicorns, you'll build your unicorns, you'll invest in your unicorns. And my hope for you is that over a period of time, you have lots of them, you enjoy your life, and things end up wonderfully.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon. I first would like to thank the organizers for inviting me to tell you the story of VIB. VIB is a research institution in life sciences in Belgium. It's a young institution. It was founded by the government 25 years ago with the ambition, of course, to do great science, but also to contribute to the knowledge economy in the region. So how to create economic value from basic science done in research. So we started 25 years ago with a double mission. The first mission is to be excellent in science and, to move the boundaries of our knowledge in life sciences. The second mission is to translate that knowledge into value for society, into value for economy. And so our focus also to be excellent in tech transfer and entrepreneurship. Where are we today? Today, VIB is a research institution with a big critical mass of 1,600 people working in 9 different research areas in life sciences, clustered into 86 research groups with people of 76 nationalities. It's pretty international, and with core facilities serving the population. The model is an inter-university institutions where we have an agreement, a joint venture with 5 universities in Flanders of Ghent, Leuven, Brussels, Antwerp and Hasselt. We focus actually on understanding the molecular mechanisms of life. What is leading to being healthy or diseased in the human being? And there we focus on 3 mechanisms of disease: cancer, immunity and inflammation, and neurodegeneration. The same approach we follow in agriculture. So we study the normal being, the normal growth and development of a plant or a crop in the field, and we try to understand what is the difference at the molecular level between a healthy plant and a stressed plant. Understanding these mechanisms will lead us to applications that we would like to bring to society. One slide on science policy. So we want to focus on making the difference. We don't want Me Too research, we really do world-class research, moving the boundaries of our knowledge. And so the questions we ask, the biological questions, have to be relevant, and we address them with the right quality in terms of protocols, in terms of critical mass. And if we do well, we are performant, which means in VIB, getting results that can be published in the top journals in the field, and in addition to that, where we can apply for patent applications to protect or intellectual property rights. So what we do is to create within VIB a stimulating environment for scientists where talent can excel. And so we focus on a number of items. First of all, create an environment of discussion, of interaction, of open dialogue with the people where they have a good training for their career. Second is to provide them with state-of-the-art infrastructure embedded in the universities. That is the model on 5 different locations in Belgium. And third, we invest a lot in equipment, high-end equipment, new technologies with different programs that I will explain to you. So this is an example of the new setup building in Ghent for the medical biotechnology people. And we have such a new building at all places where we are located at the Flemish universities. We have a very important program on core facilities providing disruptive technologies to the whole community. Technologies that are too expensive for a single center or even a group to be able to address that technology, but we provide the whole technology with expertise, with state-of-the-art equipment to the whole community. What is very special and kind of unique is our Technology Watch program. We have developed a business intelligence tool with which we can see new technologies coming our way, which will shed new light on dark places. And when you do that, you see, of course, new things. That's the ambition, to invent new things. And so just to give you an example, we have access to technologies that are just on the market or not even on the market yet. And this is providing a competitive advantage to our scientists. Example given here is the single cell accelerator. Today we are exploring 20 different single cell technologies in our life science research. This is today in single cell biology extremely important. Now, to give you the big picture, the total research budget of VIB today is about 150 million euros a year, of which about a quarter is coming from the government through the VIB grant. The other 3/4 we have to find in the market, locally, regionally, nationally, internationally, collaboration with industry, and so on. Now, what counts, of course, are the results. So if I just give you the picture of the results of last year, about 800 publications published, of which, and that's important, over 250 what we call breakthrough articles. Articles published in the absolute top 5% journals in the fields in which we're active. And of course, we also do some training. We trained about 77 PhDs to their PhD last year. Now, this is the overview over time. When you see from the start of VIB in '96 until today, you see the number of papers published in these top journals is growing from about 20 at the start to over 250 today. So that's a significant show of the performance of the scientists in the field, growing over the years, which is basically the result of our excellence program. Now, it's important to publish in the best journals, but it's even more important that your papers are cited by the community, that are taken up. And this is a ranking provided by the CWTS group in Leiden. It's a bibliometric ranking which is very well known, and it seems based on the number of citations that our papers receive, showing the impact of the papers, that we are almost of the highest impact and playing in the absolute top league in the world with the science we do. Now, what matters, of course, is the second mission. How do we translate that knowledge created in the lab into value for society? And so therefore we set up a team. Normally this is called the tech transfer team. We call it the VIB Innovation and Business Team. And basically the way we work is the following. So the basis of everything, of course, is the research that we do, and that is going through a pipeline of IP protection. So first thing we do is to see whether new findings can be translated in intellectual property. Is this new, inventive, applicable, etc.? And so when we can, we file for IP. We file about 25, 30 patent applications a year. And with that, we've built up a portfolio of over 250 patents granted already in-house. These different patent families are then, of course, traded in the market. And there is two ways. There is the business development way, or there is the new ventures way. In business development, we have a team that is interacting with existing industry, where we try to sell our IP to these companies that are taking it from, I would say, the lab results until the product for society, be it a diagnostic or a therapeutic or a vaccine or a crop, whatever. The second one, and this happens every now and then, is starting up from that IP a new company, new venture. We did this already 27 times in the start of VIB, so we founded 27 new companies based on the research that we created in the lab. So for the first pillar, it is the collaboration with industry that has been increasing, and now last year this was an income of 30 million euros from industry. And this is of course also providing employment. About 10% of the people within VIB are employed through these collaborations with industry, translating our research into development. So the unique case, of course, is a startup company where we start again from, I would say, the research in the lab and then create a value chain up to making a startup. And this goes in different phases. It would take me far too long to explain that all, but we have different instruments to support that process, which takes often 2, 3, 4 years before we get it. So we have a proof of concept fund that is helping us to do that. We have a seed capital fund to help starting up the companies. And then we try to find the right management and the right VC to start up the company. Just one example, you might have heard about the nanobodies. These are the immune globulins produced by camelids, in this case llamas. So this is an invention done by VIB, published in Nature in the early years of the institution, but we turned that knowledge already into 7 different companies, using the specific structure of these antibodies for different applications. And so one very well-known example of that is Uplinks. Uplinks, a company that we founded in 2001, that has now their first drugs on the market based on these nanobodies, these antibodies, in different therapeutic areas. And this company was acquired by Sanofi for 4 billion euros. That's value. So we created 7 companies with that. The last kid on the block is Accelerator. It's a company that is producing a nanobody specific against COVID-19 to provide a drug in our war against SARS-CoV-2. Now, as said, we started 27 companies from the start until now. And in total, of course, these companies employ people, but also they attract equity investment locally, but also from foreign nations into these companies in our region. And so in total, they acquired 1.3 billion euros in their equity to make their work, to provide employment here, to create new value. But of course, much of that money comes from other regions in the world, and that's basically foreign investment in our economic development based on an investment of the government of Belgium into the research done at the VIB. In that way, we have built over the years a quite impressive biotech ecosystem. When we started with VIB 25 years ago in Flanders, there were 5 biotech companies. Today, over 200, many of them set up by us or helped by us or collaborating with us or located in one of our establishments, bioincubators, etc. And so this is what happens. This is a picture of the technology park in Ghent, recently taken. When we started, this park was empty. Now it's full of biotech companies and an employment of over 2,500 people just on that campus, and we did this on several places throughout the region. So to summarize the whole presentation, basically what we do as VIB, yes, we are a research institution basically focused on basic research, but with the ambition to have impact on the economy in the region. And we do this, of course, by creating intellectual property, which is the basis of all these actions. translating that into industrial income for VIB, but knowledge transfer to the companies, starting up new companies, building infrastructures where these companies can work, support the ecosystem. We started up a federation, we started up 2 international schools, and create inward investment. So that ecosystem is now also attractive for foreign companies to come and locate in Flanders, in Belgium, to do their biotech business. We calculated in an economic return study that €1 invested by the government is providing a return on investment of 11 times in terms of value, economic value created in the region. Voila, that's the story I wanted to bring to you from science to value. Thank you so much.